What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another Marvel Future Fight video. Alright, so in this one here, we're going to be taking a look at Slapstick, and we're going to be taking him in against Galactus. So, yeah, I was quite excited to get Slapstick leveled up and ready to go here because, yeah, he was just a really fun character to play in the beta, and I just wanted to get him built on my account. So, as soon as I got his potential realized, I leveled him up to 70, and since today was Saturday, I decided, you know what, let's see how he does in GBR, see if he does really well in the Galactus fight. So let's take a look at his build here before we hop into the actual gameplay. So for his gears here, we have just the bottom two at 22, and I believe that was for, yeah, skill cooldown, so we need a little bit of skill cooldown. And then we have Ignore Defense Uru on the first slot there for those gears. And then for his skills, we have everything leveled up except for 3 and 1. I believe they just didn't have anything need to be leveled up on. This one we have the chance to penetrate. This one we have the recovery and the all attack boost, and this one we have the damage accumulation. And then over here, his ice weight set, we do have overdrive on him at stage 6, so just 6-star ice weights on him. And then for the custom gear here, we have a CTP of energy with a 200% proc. And that's just because I really was impressed with Slapstick. So I decided, you know what, I'm going to throw a CTP on him because I think he is worth it. And of course, since he's a universal, he has a lot of good matchups. And also, he's physical attack. And you know, we can never have enough good physical attack characters, so decided to kind of invest in him a little bit more. So yeah, now that we have an idea of what my Slapstick is, oh, actually we didn't check the details out, did we? So he does have a little bit of room for improvement, as you can see from the details page here. We're at 124 for attack speed, so we could use a little bit more there. His crit rate is a little bit low. Crit damage is okay. Ignore defense, again, not at cap. We need about another 4% there, which we can get from Uru, or leveling up the final gear to 25 will probably get me there as well. And then the skill cooldown is at 46%, so could use a little bit more skill cooldown, but I didn't really notice it affecting my skill rotation. So I think 46%, or in this case pretty much 47%, is going to be more than enough to be able to do his skill rotation without kind of missing the proc too often, or at least I didn't notice that I was missing the proc too often. But when we rewatch the gameplay, I will be able to tell you for sure. So now that that's out of the way, let's go ahead and hop into the gameplay and see how he did against Galactus. Alright, so here we are at the fight. We've got two random teammates. We've got a guy with a level 70 Doctor Strange, and then someone with a tier 3 Jean. So not really expecting too much from the Doctor Strange, but hopefully the Jean will be able to help us out here. The team I decided to go with was Goliath for leadership, and then we have Valkyrie for her tier 2 passive. So nothing too crazy there, just get that 45% extra physical damage, and hopefully that'll be enough for Slapstick to show us if he can do well here in GBR. So yeah, let's just let him do his thing here. So basically what I'm going to be trying to do with Slapstick is I'm going to try and just proc on the 4th skill. So we're going to have the 5th skill as the one that we cancel out. So we go right into the 5th skill. We wait just a little bit of time. It's hard to see when you're in this kind of view like this, but normally you would wait until you see some of the comic book appear, and then you would hop into the 4th skill, and then you get the damage from both the 5th and the 4th. But like I said, it's a little harder to see here, but generally I think you end up waiting for like about a second after using this skill, probably about a full second, so not very long. You just hit the skill and then you can cancel it pretty quickly, but make sure you don't cancel it too quickly because then you don't get any of the damage. You want to make sure you have all of those extra slapsticks that appear out of the comic there to do the damage, and then you know you did that because you can't really see much with the Jean Grey here, but you know you got his 5th skill to go off properly if you see that big explosion at the end that says kaboom, because then yeah, you got the damage. But anyway, then I use the 2nd skill for the damage immunity, and I go back into the rotation after that because the 2nd skill is actually so long that when he throws the gun at the end of the 2nd skill, sometimes it can really mess you up because that will actually trigger your obelisk or your CTP, which is a little bit annoying. But as you can see, my skill rotation is already a little bit off here. I keep yeah, it keeps proccing a little bit early, so then I just only use the 4th skill, and I haven't been using the 5th skill as much as I would like. But here we go. Let's get a nice reset in here. And we're doing okay. That took about 2 minutes to get to the first phase change, which you can still clear them with that amount of time, but it's going to be quite tight because you got to make sure that he's not going to be doing a ton of the unavoidable attacks where you're just kind of running around and avoiding them, because then you're going to be eating through a lot of the time. So here we go. We got. It's so hard to see what's going on when there's a Jean Grey in the team here, just because she has all those effects that keep covering the ground, so it's just hard to see a lot of times. But we're making it through, and as you can see, Slapstick has great survivability. He even has the revive, so if we mess up, we got his 4-star passive there to revive him back up and keep going. But yeah, Slapstick, I mean, I've been really impressed with this character since the beta. His damage has been really nice. He's just a very, very unique and really well animated character as well. I just love his design. Just kind of that kooky, wacky style that he has. Reminds me, of course, a little bit like Deadpool. Surprise, surprise. But yeah, I kind of like that kind of over-the-top just weirdness that he has. So it's just really cool to see, especially having all of like the comic book kind of style to him, where you just see like the comic book phrases. So you have the kaboom, you have the pow, you have like pew 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 and all that kind of stuff. So it's just a really, yeah, boom, really fun character. Yeah, so I hope they make more characters like him, because when I first saw him, I was a little bit like, Slapstick? That's kind of a weird looking character. I'm not sure how I feel about Slapstick. But after getting to play the character, I'm quite happy with him. So yeah, I'm definitely happy that they added Slapstick to the game. And like I said, he's a very powerful character as well. Universal type physical damage, which we definitely don't have very many of those. And also a high damage dealer. So yeah, a physical attack character that actually dishes out some damage. So he's a really good character to kind of invest in. So if you pick up one of the biosubs, I'd say he's pretty close to the top now for the regular biosub characters, on one of the characters that I would recommend you kind of unlock and build to get the tier 2, just because he's a really fun character. He does great damage, great survivability, he can do a lot for you. So yeah, Slapstick looking good, and as you can see here, we are still somewhat on pace to clearing this in time, as long as nobody dies and everyone keeps doing pretty well. We have like 30 seconds to do 2 bars of damage here. Or yeah, like 2 bars of damage. So yeah, it's going to be close, but I can't remember if we cleared it or not. I don't think we did clear it actually. But we'll still be able to see how much damage Slapstick did, which is the most important part here. See if he's able to do enough damage to do a third of it. Alright, awesome. So managed to get all of the orbs there. Galactus didn't heal up too much. I think like 2 of them got through. We're just barely at the halfway mark for both. So if we did clear this, it would have been down to the wire. So I'm curious to see how we did. And look at that. Slapstick is in first place right now in terms of the damage. So that's quite awesome. Look at that Jean just sitting there tanking all of that damage. Look at that healing. Did almost kill her, but yeah, Jean's healing is just nutty. It's so good. I love her healing. She's just so hard to kill. She probably will die right there though. Yeah, she can't stand in that beam because it just does too many attacks consecutively in a row. If there was a little bit more time between the hits from that beam, she might have some time to heal up, but she doesn't heal up quick enough for that. But for the other attacks, yeah, as long as she doesn't get one shot, she's healing back up. So really fun character. But Slapstick, oh yeah, Slapstick has to heal too, doesn't he? Yeah. So yeah, Slapstick, great survivability. He's got healing. He's got the invincibility on the fifth skill. It's invincibility, right? Not just damage immunity. I'm pretty sure it's invincibility. Since I put a CTP of energy on him and he's not getting guard broken, I'm assuming it's invincibility. But also we have an iframe that helps out a little bit. But the fourth skill does not have an iframe, so that's why you wanted to get that invincibility from the fifth skill. But here we go. We got 3 minutes left. Yeah, the damage kind of fell off a cliff here. It looked like we were doing okay for a while in terms of the damage, but then it really slowed down. I guess he just started doing more and more of the unavoidable attacks, or I've just been missing too many damage procs. I don't remember why I switched right there. I think I was, oh yeah, I think I was in the middle of the skill animation from the fourth skill. So there's an example of when you kind of need to switch characters, where previously when I was talking about Apocalypse and how his second skill, you can just use that to cancel out of a skill and get out of harm's way. For Slapstick here, I wasn't able to do that, so I had to switch characters, because even if I skill cancel it into another skill, he doesn't really have any short animated skills. So like his second skill takes a while, his first skill still takes a while, even though it is quite short, but it's not enough to really just use to like get away from or to avoid the attack that you want to avoid. You can't just cancel into it and then you can't move immediately. It still takes a little while because he has to hit those bombs and then he's able to move. And then the third skill is also quite a long animation where he has the big giant big giant bomb, and he just kind of rolls around on it like a big beach ball or something like that, which is quite funny. But yeah, here we go. We've got 2 minutes left, so we're getting out. I was doing the third skill right there. I could see Slapstick just rolling around in the giant bomb. Then you can see all the bam, bam, bam there in the cloud, which is funny. And then kaboom, and yeah, we're definitely not going to make it in time. So let's see how much damage he ended up doing, because I do not remember. So let's get to the last little bit of the fight here. Alright, so now we're at the end of the fight here, so you can finally see what happened. He ended up having 19 bars left, which is not terrible. So we still did okay, considering it's just me and that Gene there. So let's see what Slapstick ended up doing. So we did 33 million damage in the 10 minutes, which is awesome. So we definitely did more than a third of Galactus' health. We outperformed the Gene, which I'm not sure what kind of build he had on her, so I can't say if that's impressive or not. It's always hard to say when you just have random people that you get to join the lobby here, because you don't know how good their build is, so you can't really say, oh, hey, I did really good compared to this Gene, when in reality maybe that Gene was built for PvP and she has like an authority on her or something, or a regen on her. So, you know, I don't know those kind of things. But Slapstick did very well right there, so I'm quite impressed with that damage. Over 30 million is definitely a good place to be. So yeah, he's got really good damage, really good raw damage. He can definitely do Galactus, so yeah, I would say he's a nice safe option there, because I didn't even have like the best team that I could have used, because I could still use Nick Fury for leadership, and then you get the leader and support from that, so that it increases damage even more. So yeah, a little bit more room for improvement there, and of course I could level him up a little bit more for his gears, put some more Uru on him, that kind of thing. So he's still got room for improvement, and he's still performing very well. So overall, I'm very happy with how Slapstick is performing. Quite happy that I invested in a character and got him to tier 2, got him to level 70, and I definitely do not regret it. So that's going to be it for the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.